Hi, I'm Mark Bassett, the Executive Director of the Nevada Northern Railway Museum in Ely, Nevada. Did you know that we're a National Historic Landmark? And what is a National Historic Landmark? A National Historic Landmark, in government speak, is a nationally significant historic place designated by the Secretary of Interior because they possess exceptional value or quality in illustrating or interpreting the heritage of the United States. But what does that mean to you and me? Here at the Nevada Northern Railway, you are entering a time machine. You're going back a full century. And it's very easy to do. All you have to do is open the door and walk on in. So come on, let's go back in time. This is the visitor center of the railroad, and it basically gives you a little background on why the railroad was here. And the principal reason the railroad was here is because of copper. Copper was the miracle metal of the last century. There are two inventions that everyone wants: the electric light and the telephone. And you need copper for every electric circuit and every telephone circuit. So the demand for copper was huge, and just to the west of us here is a mountain of copper. The builder of the railroad was Mark Requa, and he drove the copper spike in the East Ely Yard in 1906. When people come to the Nevada Northern Railway Museum, they expect to go into just one building. Instead, we have lots of buildings. And this particular building is called the Transportation Building, and in this building is the office of the dispatcher. And this building was built in 1910 specifically for the dispatcher to dispatch trains. And we still use this building today. And what is so amazing about this, we have the 21st century here, and we also have the 19th century right next to it. And today when we do dispatching, we use the modern computer for today, and we write up the train orders. But during the day, they would have their own telephone, and this is left over from the dispatching during the day. And then even predating the telephone is the telegraph, and this is a telegraph bug, and they would use that to send out the Morse code, and then to receive the Morse code back, this is the receiver. And so all of the trains on the entire railroad were controlled from this office right here. One of the reasons why the Nevada Northern Railway is a National Historic Landmark is because of its completeness. Not only do we have the original locomotives, the original buildings, the original track, but we also have the original paperwork. And that, I think, is what really sets us apart. And it's the paperwork that we still use today. This is the drawing of the Nevada Northern Railway Company East Ely Freight House Privy. And these plans were drawn up of June 30th, 1917. And we have plans not only of the locomotives, we have plans of the cars, plans of the buildings, and it is quite a collection in its own self. I'm standing in the doorway of baggage RPO 20. RPO stands for Railway Post Office. Baggage RPO 20 was built in 1906 and is still a post office. And it was a full-service post office. Behind me here are the pigeonholes. The clerks would put the different letters in the different holes depending on where the mail was going to. They would collect the mail, put the mail in the bags, get the bags ready, and then when they came to a particular area, they would drop the bags outside of the door. And periodically, to commemorate its history, we have the post office come, and we actually do special cancellations right here in the old RPO section of the car. And this is one of the letters, and in the top here, the postmark was Cobrae in Ely RPO. Here we are on car 5. Car 5 is very unique. It was built in 1882 for the Union Pacific Railroad. The Nevada Northern Railway bought it used. But what makes this car so incredibly special is it tells the story of America. If these walls could talk, there are literally millions of stories here. I met the daughter of a woman who came here as a school teacher, and she told me this story. Her mother applied with the White Pine County School District. She was accepted, so she boards a train from the Bay Area and gets off the train in the middle of nowhere, Nevada, sagebrush everywhere. Another young woman gets off the train. First woman goes up to the second woman and says, "What are you doing here?" And the woman says, "I'm going to be a school teacher in Ruth, Nevada." And the woman says, "So am I." Instant friendship. They get on the train, they come down to Ruth. The first woman is only going to teach the one semester and then go back to the Bay Area. Well, funny thing happens. She meets a gentleman, they get married, they raise their family there, and she never leaves. And I spoke with her daughter, who got married in Ruth and raised her family there too. So this car quite literally has millions of stories, and they tell a time of dreams, of people doing big things. And I think that's what this railroad represents, the ability to do things when people tell you you can't do it. If you want to create your own story on this car, 5 times a year we operate the Steptoe Valley Flyer. So if you want to actually ride in a piece of history, come visit us and ride the Steptoe Valley Flyer. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Railway Fun, Facts, and Trivia. Check our website often as we update additional episodes and our train schedule and other events that are all happening here at the Nevada Northern Railway National Historic Landmark in Ely, Nevada. This is Mark Bassett saying, I'll see you down the tracks.